Do you believe in magic? Do you think that the next world will be full of magic like Hogwarts? I can't imagine that it would be any less. Learning to use our mind for greater purposes. The reason we were born in this realm was to memorize spells and curses, spelling and cursive writing, and learn how to deal with people, perfect our mind and our spirit, and then we enter into a new world. In this world, you don't have to call it magic, but it is a place of magic. I remember I was taking my daughter to a homeschool group, and they were real Christian, and they were like, well, we don't believe in allowing our kids to watch Harry Potter. And I was like, I noticed you had Mickey Mouse curtains and blankets all over your house. Shoot, they were like, yeah, so. And I was like, he has a wizard hat and a wizard wand, and he casts spells. Are you kidding me? There's no difference between Mickey Mouse and Harry Potter. Or Jesus. We're awakening people, and it's fun. Let's not get caught in the web of arguing with people whose IQ is really low. Let's just keep on going on this magical choo-choo train of illumination and light, and it's just awesome. Hello, thank you so much. Tony, thank you. So guess what today is? Guess what today is. Today is your special day. So I decided to turn off my readings, and I'm going to be focusing on you guys who have been following me. You have been subscribing. You have been giving me gifts, and I'm going to focus probably a good 2 weeks on you guys, and I'm not going to take paid readings for a minute. Really, suffice it to say, all the gifts that y'all give me are going toward free readings. The only reason I opened up my readings was because people are begging me, that they want a scheduled time and everything. But sometimes when I do that and I take money, there's a strange relationship with money where I feel like I have to obey a set of rules in order to give you exactly what you paid for. And I really want spirit to be in control. And some people don't believe in divine order, and it really kind of tugs at my energy. So I'm going to take a break, and that I hope you feel that vibe, and I hope you feel happy about that. So what was I going to say today? Today I feel really good. I feel really good, like a great shift. I feel powerful. I feel amazing. I hope you guys are feeling good. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take questions, all right? So what you have to do is tell me what your first name is, give me a question, and Spirit will pick one of you. And we're ready to step into our mastery. Ding! Are you tapping your heels together 3 times, or are you clicking your heels 3 times? One or the other. The card for all of you today, cards are healing, a little bit of healing, a little bit of, you guys, please believe in divine order. Once you get into your balance in the eye of the needle, everything happens like this. I was like, hey, Spirit, tell me what this number means. Spirit says, open this book. This is called The Secret Teachings of the Ages for Oracles. This is an oracle book. Open up exactly to the number I was looking for. Exactly. That's how it works now. Divine order is like, ta-da! You don't even have to say expector patronum. You would like to know your soul purpose. Hello, Tony. Let's pin your comment. Congratulations. Make sure I'm following you. Tony Ann. So I tried to follow you back. I don't know what it's doing. It's requesting. Knocking on your door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Spirit, thank you so much for connecting with Tony Ann and for us today here in Florida. And for giving us a little bit of magic, giving us our heart of our child back today. A little bit of peaceful, easy feeling. So that's the song for you. Peaceful, easy feeling. Let's give you a song, sweet baby. Do, 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 do. I'm going to anoint your piece with blue lotus essential oil. It smells good. Can you smell it over there? Yes, you can. I like the way your sparkling earrings lay your ears up on your skin, so brown. And I wanna sleep with you in the desert tonight, with a billion stars all around. 'Cause you get a peaceful, easy feeling, and I know you won't let me down. 'Cause I'm already standing on the ground. I found out a long time ago what a woman will do to your soul. You don't already know how to go. I got a peaceful, easy feeling. I know you won't let me down. 'Cause I'm already standing on the ground. If I were to just say something like a feeling that I have, and you would just take it very lightheartedly and not take it too seriously, that would be really good. You were created by Russians to be able, there's a spaceship up here, there's a Russian person here, there's a lion looking person here. They look Russian. It's as if they are growing you in this world or this reality, and you have a galactic purpose. It's a galactic purpose. It's a purpose that's supposed to see, you're a lion person. I think that you are, you came from a lower world. You have a face of a lion. like Lemuria, and you came down to this house, the fish that paid the age of Pisces. You went into the illusion, the water, you can call it the matrix if you want to. But the people who are implementing this program I got a very, very strong feeling of this being a space thing in space, and they're trying to groom certain people for matters not of this world. So when we went into the illusion down here, which is the waters, which is where you went into the waters, you had to grow through many sets of stairs. This is like a spiral staircase here. And there's a female talking. You have an angel like on your left shoulder. Growing your ear to hear. Helping you to hear. Get you out of duality. So you're kind of like Odin in this certain way where this man is holding a well, and in the well is the wisdom, and in the wisdom there's like yin and yang energy going on, and a divine marriage and things that are happening in this illusion, in this mirror. And this is where you were sent. You were sent down here for the purpose that Odin was sent down here, to gain wisdom. And you drank from the waters of forgetfulness. You were sent to the two fish until the two fish ended. That was the contract. When the two fish ends, you go to Aquarius. This is a purification for you. It's an awakening for you. You have leaves all in your hair, like a lotus. So you got a little bit of Norse, a little bit of Hinduism or Buddhism with the lotus flower, and the lotus flower being connected to a beautiful sun energy. Now, that is a space station up here. It actually looks like a book here. It's like a butterfly was pressed between two books, like a press, like or like a dragonfly pressed, and it was pressed and to preserve it. But this was a space station, and the feeling I get is Harry Potter was a wizard, and he was sent to the Muggle world to be protected. Like you press a flower or you press something and you keep it preserved or whatever. So you were sent here to gain wisdom like Odin. You're connected to Freya, but you're connected to Elmoria, or the lions, the lion people. And you had to walk up this staircase and then open the 2 doors, which are the 2 fish, to get out of duality, the 2 towers. You had to figure out what the 2 tower was with your biofield, with everything. So it looks like your purpose is basically to not get pulled back into your old self, or to mirror the world of illusion, not get trapped. There's a clown down here, a jack-in-the-box. And so if we get stuck in the jack-in-the-box, then we haven't figured out how to not get trapped. And you have to know this. And for some reason, in the higher worlds, there is no way of telling you. You actually have to live it. You have to live this. So I wouldn't say that you're really here for anyone else but you. However, you have a cat right here, like a lioness that you have over your head. That is a star, so you're like a star, if you want to call it a star seed. Definitely there's a cat. This is called Katniss. And if you are achieving Katniss Everdeen, you are the phoenix, and you are the one who purifies, like Professor Snow. That's the white rose, the white flower, the purification. There's a lot of stories that this goes into. And so, you have Ya down here. So Freya represents Frey that dominates Ya. So you came here to dominate the moon within you. You're part of a group of women that dominate Ya. So this is Gaia, Maria, Sophia, Emma Ya, Haya. These are goddesses that represent Earth, Moon. And then the sun represents a third element that you had to divinely marry. So if the feminine represents Earth and the moon, the male is the sun, and then that divine marriage awakens you out of the 2 tower cloning system, turning us into robots or some things here. Speaking light language is something that you will get into. The language of the gods really is about the language of the birds. Some of the most wise person on earth has the ability to speak the voice of a bird. And so light language and things like that. I'll give you a little secret on the language of trees and birds. They can access your mental inventory to talk to you. So if you have a song that you know, you have a certain phrase that you say often, they will repeat it back to you to talk to you. They have abilities to access your memory bank and talk to you through your own thoughts. So you'll think you're thinking the thought, or you're thinking of a song that just popped into your head, and you have no idea that it was a tree or a bird or something outside of you sending you a message, because we were asleep for a long time. And so this great awakening is taking you into also that you're not just you. So there's literally 2 people there with you, 2 people in one. And so you're a goddess of the lion. You're a lion, a Lyran. So I'll show you what it looks like when we color it a little bit. This is where you were sent into the waters of illusion, like Odin. This is Pisces. You were a soldier for beings that were mostly female, meaning they are invisible. They wanted you to dominate Ya. They wanted you to dominate ignorance and death, the box energy. They wanted you to awaken out of the 2 tower system And they wanted you to find a third tower with an animal. Usually the third tower is the Holy Spirit, a cat, a owl, or even a bug. It's a spirit that gives you a third tower that brings the sun energy and it awakens you. It's a glorious, glorious connection to awaken with this energy. And so the sun energy is above you, and you're a voice. So however you use your voice, whether it's light language or singing or speaking or repeating the voice of the gods, that's what you're supposed to do. You're a repeater of the voice of the gods. To give you a name, there's a name here. Sama. Almost like Samantha, but it's Sama. And I will see what that means. It's the goddess of Mount Fuji. What is this about Mount Fuji? What does Mount Fuji keep coming into these readings? For goodness sake. Her name is Shingen Sama. She's from Japan. She is a Shinto goddess of Fujiyama, which it has the name Ya, right? Ya and Ma. Freya. All right. And so it's in Tokyo, actually. And so it says that her name is Senjin Sama, S-A-M-A. All right. Her name means the never-dying mountain. Her temple is usually snow-covered, like Russia. I see Russian. I don't see Japan, but I see Russia with you. So the story goes that she is the sun goddess. Oh, yes. You are definitely the sun goddess. Definitely the sun. You're the sun goddess of Mount Fuji. You have other solar associations. People pay pilgrimage to the rising sun. And you have 3 fiery suns: the fire shine, the fire full, the fire fade. She gave birth to a burning building. Oh, ah, ha, ha. There's a building and it has a lion in it. Like lions represent fire. She gave birth to a burning building. That's an allegory that you are like a Lyran or something. Her grandfather was the first emperor of Japan, whose descendants preside over Japan to this day. Alternate names: Shingen Sama, Kanohana, Sakuya, always dominating Ya, Sukuya. The princess who is radiant as the blossoming trees. Trust not in the surface. There are many layers and perceptions. It's you. This is your higher self. Your lower self is a jack-in-the-box that awakens to something within your DNA that helps you to grow wisdom out of the moon energy. You go through the 2-tower system. You realize who you are. You're very connected to fire, which are the lions. You're here to dominate the illusion through wisdom. And then finally, your lower self grows into the full embodiment of your higher self, like a dragonfly that lived 1 year underwater. Then when you grow 4 wings, you have become perfected man. because the number 4 is the number 10. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. That's a big 10-4. 10 is perfected man, which is the number 4. And there is no other holy number that's holier than the number 4, which is the dragonfly. But for some reason, where she says there are many layers of perceptions, there are layers of perceptions like these leaves on a tree here. Now she's connected to the blossoming trees. And you have leaves here like a blossoming tree. So this blossoming tree is telling you you were bought by Russians before you were born in some strange way to put you in a program. And then when you come out of the program, you're supposed to step into this divine task like Odin. Now, when I say Russians, I don't know what I mean. I mean people of the snow, and they're bearded and they are bearded. And they have these hats on to keep them warm, and that's all I know. If you're thinking in your head, Russia and Russians, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of a secret space force. Secret. That's what I'm thinking. That's connected to as old as Odin and Freya, but it actually goes all the way back to Japan. And the fire goddess of Fuji. And the grandfather is called, and this place called the Never Dying Mountain. Which may be why you're like on a big mountain right here, and there's a steps going up to that mountain. You have your hand on a chair like a mountain. So take a picture, be aware that you can paint it, crop it, you can mirror it. It will continue to talk to you. It is like a tarot card, but it is more in divine time. It is more in the now moment. So you can see very well that the 2 doors or the 2 towers represents the number 11, which is duality, which is Aleph, which is electricity, which is the elements, which is electrons, and many communications about this 2-tower system. Your biofield makes up 2 rings of power. You're really here to get that sun back. That must have been cut from you, or at least you made the decision to go into the waters of chaos, Pisces. Don't we regret that? I immediately regret this decision. And you're not allowed to come out until Pisces is finished, and it looks like one last little dead fish left out of 2 fish. You have a little fairy on your shoulder talking to you. Isn't that cute? Mm-hmm. All right. So let's move on away from that. If you would like this sent to you, you can go to my website and donate for me to mail it to you. Otherwise, take a picture and you can paint it yourself. You're so welcome, Tony. Paula, you want to know your new name. Let's see if we can figure that out for you. I pinned your comment. Everybody cheer for Paula. Yay, Paula. What is your new name? Thank you, Spirit, for being ever present, ever knowing, ever knowledgeable, ever in divine timing. I see a halo over my head, over Paula's head. I see glow-in-the-dark glitter sprinkling all over everyone listening today. Giggly joy, heart of a child, wonderful sense, giving you this aroma of the gods. Breathe in that higher world. Breathe it in. Imagine you're already there. The breath of that world makes you live forever. Feels good. Let's see if we have a song for you. Let's see what song comes to mind. Hold on. Here's your song, Paula. Let's see if we can see your name. Oh yeah, good vibes. Sweet, wonderful you. You make me happy with the things you do. Oh, I love you so. This feeling follows me wherever I go. I never did believe in miracles, but I have a feeling it's time to try. I never did believe in the ways of magic, but I'm beginning to wonder why. I never did believe in miracles, but I have a feeling it's time to try. I never did believe in the ways of magic, but I'm beginning to wonder why. Don't break the spell. It can be different and you know it will. You make loving fun, and I don't have to tell you, but you're the only one. Okay, so well, your name is L-Free, but we have to understand that they don't talk with letters, okay? Okay, so the new world that we're going to doesn't communicate the way we do. We see letters going left to right, and we see they have a meaning to them and all that. They are actually describing your ascension and the power that you have with your personal energy with this name. So, what your name means is that you are dominated by the god El. So when you think of Elsa or El Shaddai, Elohim, or the elephant, or electrons, or electricity, or 11, or the elements, El is free, but it's also connected to like Freya. So let's see what FRE means. But it's 555, okay? Now, ELF makes the number 23. Then you have the number 10 here, which is 33, right? It is they don't talk like we do. It's more numerical, and it's really describing a place, not a person. So what they're telling you is that you are in the body of the Aleph, the one and infinite God that looks like an elephant. Some people are going into the body of a dragon right now. Some people are going into the body of a lion, and some people are going into the body of an elephant. We were in the body of the two fish, which is Pisces, right? Well, we're not in time anymore. We're not in 12 zodiac signs. You're not in anything that you can see in this world. You are now in a celestial school that is invisible. And you are in Aleph, the one infinite God, which is like an elephant, which would give you the name El, meaning you are in the world of El. And you are 23, the oracle was written in the Bible 23 times. Extreme low frequency, elf, technology, the one that works for the one God, like gives gifts to children at Christmas time. I mean, you look like an elf. And you look like a fairy godmother. You have a Merkaba, you have wings, you're a wing giver, and you're doing all this stuff, and you have a portal, and you're a secret little elf, and you have these people behind you. There's somebody with a spyglass. Oh, that's Sherlock Holmes. So Sherlock Holmes, you have a scientific mind. You know, Sherlock Holmes was telepathic. That's how he was able to see things that other people couldn't see. It wasn't his power of observation. He was telepathic. This is telepathy, your oracle abilities. Now it's a certain instrument. I think it's called it's a story of Achilles. Achilles' mother put him in boiling water or fire in order to make him immortal. It's the story that is repeated over and over again. God sacrificed his own son. Yeah, it's the same story of Achilles. Achilles' mother sacrificed her own son and put him in boiling water or fire in order to make him immortal. Same thing with Jesus. Sacrificed him in order to bring immortality. Every single God who put us through sacrifice or fire did so in order that we played the lute perfectly. So the story of Achilles' heel is Achilles grew through the fire or the boiling water of purification and learned to play his musical instrument so perfectly in such precision that it was like magic. And then when you step into a power, then you become immortal. So this is a repeated story. So if you're thinking of 11 from Stranger Things, Papa put her through hell, put her through boiling water or fire or very emotional damage. But the purpose of it was to make her very powerful, because only the oracle, which is the number 23, can live forever. Only the one who perfects the deathless death, which is the number 33, can be free to live forever. So there's a lot of communication with this name that was like, it was L tree. It was a T. But then it says free. It is a T. It is an F. It's both. It's like L tree or L free. It was a T there. So anyway, I think it's L free because it's an elf. Now, the letter R is the 18th letter in the alphabet. 33, 8, 51. Numerically, your name seems to come to 51. That's strange because that's how old I will be this year. Let me look it up in Gematria. Okay, so in Gematria, in Hebrew, it comes to 121, which is 4. That's perfected. That's a perfect number. It means perfected person. All right, that's in Hebrew. In English, it comes to 306. That's a master. That's number 9. And then in simple Gematria, it's 51. So it's actually a very powerful number. And it parallels with self. I am Ra. Ahaha. Yes, I am Ra. I am legend. Isn't that funny? Magic man. Aha, you do believe in magic. Nephilim. Ooh. Uh-oh. Ah. So, yeah. Have fun with your names, guys. These names represent a place, not a person. Just like Yeshua meant moon sun. And El does mean a moon god, but El transcends through the elements. So El isn't stuck with moon energy. El changes from moon to earth, electricity, to the sun, electrons. And so it's a shifting god. You are in the body of El, and you are like Sherlock Holmes. You're in the realm of science. Now, the rat represents that you are going to dominate your avatar body. It's called the water rat. Its avatar means water rat. Sherlock Holmes wrote a story about the giant rats of Sumatra, and he said they're connected to vampires. And the vampires that live forever. And you have to be like Sherlock Holmes to figure out what he's trying to say there. But it is Sherlock Holmes. With a spyglass. About what that means. It's funny. There's a place called M. And there's a little fairy person there. Little teeny weeny fairy person. Dragon. Interesting. Take a picture and have fun with it. This looked like a tree to me, like a cypress tree. And the cypress tree is connected to a particular god. Let me see what. Apollo, Artemis, and Hades. The cypress tree represents endurance, immortality, and eternal nature. That's what that rat means. Cypress is about magic and healing. Blessings of God. Artemis. Greek mythology. In Greek mythology, it's Apollo. Yeah, Apollo is connected to the cypress tree. So take a picture. Activate your Merkaba. You're a fairy godmother. You're an elf, but you are in the realm of El. teaching, growing to be free, and really becoming like Sherlock Holmes, seeing the voice of God in everything. Everything outside of you is a communication. It's all about the divine order of God in the eye of the needle for you today. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I wish I had the technology to show you what it looks like painted, because it's quite beautiful. Now you do have a bald eagle above your head, and then this is a path that goes all the way to the eye of this Sherlock Holmes dude. And I don't know if it means anything to you, but think about it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Joe, if you have any vibe on some of the symbols, there's nothing wrong with getting your own vibe with these symbologies. I get a certain particular feeling about this, and it's that you've entered into a new world. You've entered into eternal spring. This is the age of Aquarius. There's a piece of you that's already there, and they're waiting for you to align and go through the eye of the needle and step into that new self with joy. Aha! Joy, 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 Missy. All right, big kisses. All right, we're going on to the next one. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. For me, things are happening like clockwork. Just happening like clockwork. And I think that means that when you seek first the kingdom of God, all the things that you want will be added unto you. I know you guys probably, if you're not religious or you can't stand the Bible, you probably can't stand it when I quote the Bible. I can't help it. There are truths in there. There are. And I know that these old gods, especially of the Old Testament, was a real jerk, and we're tired of it, right? And we're tired of people who perpetuate that. I get it. But there are truths in there, and I love repeating those truths. Mm-hmm. Ah ha ha ha! Thank you, Joe. I should make you moderator, Joe. As long as you're not a jerk. Don't be a jerk. I've had moderators before, and they've just... I don't know if I ever made you a moderator. Hold on. Here we go. We're going to add you as moderator. There you go. You know, just block the ones who are... somebody can come in here and say a couple of things, like Mary's a jerk, Mary's a liar. It's fine. Let it go. But if somebody comes 3 times and says jerky things, mute them. Do you start seeing things as soon as you write their name down? I honestly don't see very much. The way it works for me is I look around. The reason I have so many things around me, okay, I have this, I have an angel, I have crystals, I have a rabbit here, I have Hello Kitty, I've got perfumes and art and Christmas trees and globes and crystals and all kinds of angels and things like this, is because when I write your name down, I'm either getting in my basket or I'm looking around and something catches my eye and it gives me a thought, and then that thought leads me to a series of awakenings about their energy. Like, it's not really me. It's like my higher self is so quiet but so there. I don't know how to say it. Oh, Pippi Longstocking. Well, I want your name to be Pippi Longstocking. I love your name, Pippi Longstocking. ha ha. But we'll see, Pippi Longstocking. Let's see if Spirit gives you a name today. You've been following me for a while. Let's see. And I know I've read for you before. The reason I love Pippi Longstocking is, I'm just going to put your name as Pippi Longstocking right now, is one of my favorite episodes is, she lives in a house. She's all by herself. Her dad was a pirate. She had a bunch of gold. She had a bunch of money. She took care of herself. And she scrubbed the floors with scrub brushes and bubbles. The reason I have concrete floors right now that looks like emerald water is because I live by the Emerald Springs and the Emerald Coast, and I live on an ancient mound called the Emerald Mound. And so I live in Emerald City, and that's why my floors are emerald. And I wanted to make sure that my floors were concrete so I could just pour bubbles and use scrub brushes on my feet and skate in the house and scrub the floor. Ah ha ha! Just like Pippi Longstocking. And I liked it that Pippi Longstocking didn't like those religious people. They were like, you have to go to school. You have to go to church. And she was like, F you. Oh, how dare you speak that way, you disrespectful child. She's like, I don't want to be like you guys. You guys act like you're nice and you're not. You're actually making your children powerless. And the children, they loved Pippi Longstocking. They didn't know why. Why do we love her? She's kind of annoying and a know-it-all. But yet, she has a freedom that I can't put my finger on. And I don't have that freedom at home. I have to do what I'm told. She doesn't have to do what she's told. Do we want to run away? No, we better obey the program until we're ready to be free. Pippi Longstocking is kind of a double-edged sword. She was trying to be free before she was ready. And it was enticing, but sometimes we have to go through the fire and through obedience and discipline before we are able to be free. But still, I love her. Because the two braids of her hair reflect that she is untethered from a male-dominated patriarch. So, anyway, I'm glorifying that name for you, but Spirit may have another name. Let's pick a song for you, Pippi. Because why? Because we have a song in our heart today. Let's do... Let's see what this one is. When the lights go down in the city. When the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on the bay. Oh, I wanna be there, yeah, in my city. So you think you're lonely? Well, my friend, I'm lonely too. I wanna get back to my city by the bay. It's sad. Okay, there are birds. This is, you're being carried from one realm to another. You have not fully entered into your new celestial school, but you are. You're on your way. That you have been sorted, you have been seen, and you have been ushered into the body of a new God. You are currently in the chariot of this goose, this mother goose that carries you. For some reason, there's a higher mother goose up there also. And so you're in the midst of moving your energy, and things are shifting for you for sure, really in a very good direction. And so I see the name SA, and then I don't see anything else. So this is a process, I think. And you have a lot of birds, a lot of beautiful birds that are flocking and flying and shifting in this direction, which is west. And you do have an elephant. You can see him right here. Look, really? There he is. And so the elephant represents a biofield. And this elephant has a third circle in the center, making the trunk go out like this, reflecting that you're stepping into a trinity. This is really good. I really think that you are entering into the body of Aleph also. Some of you guys are going into the body of a dragon, and some of you guys are going into Aleph. But there are many rooms within Aleph as far as what you're going to learn. But the reason you are entering into the body of Aleph is because you have to have thought forms of God in order to understand telepathy. Because the people who are telepathic, they don't think like we do, because they don't write English. God doesn't send you a letter in the mail, because God doesn't use spells and curses, okay? No spelling, no cursive writing, no language. They send you symbology, mostly sacred geometry, mostly frequency, mostly a picture in your head. And so when you're ready to go into this adept world, the divine plane, you have to increase your knowledge and your inventory of L. And this is electricity, electrons, the elements, the 2 poles, 11, all this stuff. And your name is now you have a number 9 over your ear. This is you becoming a master of hearing God. And then you have the witch's hat, which is the fire tetrahedron. You're in the fire. It represents protection, and it represents Saturn. So I don't know what your name is right there, but there's another name over here that you're actually looking at right here. And it ends in IA. I don't know why, but they're like saying SA5IA. Now it could have been Sasya, SASYA, but it was pretty strong number 5 there, which would be the letter E, and that would be Saya, SA, like YA kind of name. So let's look that up, okay? First, I'm going to look SAIA, which is Yah. Okay, so you are, according to this great goddess, you hold the power of the purple spirit. You're the oldest of the 3 goddess sisters, the Hecate, the 3 sisters here. She taught the first oak tree and the first owl everything that they know. So that's so weird because I was just reading about that in this book, The Secret Teachings of All the Ages. And where was I? I did fold the page over because it was like, wow, that's really interesting. And it was about a oracle who spoke the voice of the owl and the oak tree. And that is, yeah. So oh, and it's about the lights. The lights that go down in the city. The human being, the light, which vegetates all plants, glistens in metals, and produces all forms of nature. Astral light, the creative agent. But it was something more than that. It was this goddess of she's an oracle. And she speaks the voice. Wasn't there? Maybe it was here. Oh yeah, it is here. Yeah. So here it goes. Her name, the Oracle Dodona, presided over Jupiter, and she was an oracle a long time ago, and she spoke to sacred oaks and the philosophy of and religion, and the talking trees stood together, forming a sacred grove. When the priest desired answers to important questions, after careful and solemn purifications, they went to the grove, and they beseeched the trees to speak. And so Saya is the goddess of the purple goddess sisters. She was the first oak and the first owl. This is a communication about your name. This isn't your higher self. This is about your name. And your name has something to do with your ability to speak the voice of the trees, which is what I do. See, when you're playing a flute comes from a bamboo or from a tree, and the wind that blows through the flute is the voice of the tree. It's the voice of the gods that come through the trees. But I'm going to look and see if there's more. There's a mother goddess named Saya. She's the mother of all. Now this takes us to Mother Goose energy here. So look at the picture of Saya with the white wings, the white color. This is exactly what you are. White heart, white holy dove, white bird. Saya, S-A-I-A, is the mother of all, the mother goddess, the goddess of creation, harmony, and the heavens. She is by far the most worshipped god in all of Sephora. Some may worship her alone, while some worship her beside their other gods. She is renowned across the world as the mother of Sephora and all life that breathes. So this is about the breath of life. This is about this flute that you're playing represents the breath of life. This is the Mother Goose. You are absolutely S-A-I-A, but you have the number 5 there in the center. Now, I-A is also Yah. It is pronounced Yah, Saya, right? But there's a reason why they put the I there. It may be that Yah is artificial intelligence and that Sa is life force that breathes into our avatars, but I'm not really sure because I know Yah means moon and moon is artificial and all that stuff. So she is loving, caring soul who only ever seeks to mother peace and prosperity in her creations. Those who pray to Saya seek good fortune and harmony, a smooth birth, a quick recovery, or even to love one another as equals. They often will value the heavens and the innocence that life offers. Worship to Saya is worship to the very goddess herself, to welcome the love of the goddess into your heart and to be loved. Prayer often comes with the embrace of all life in this world, from humans and elves to the vast ocean, lush forests, and the mountains. Very beautiful. Basically, you are the white goddess of the Mother Goose, the mother of all. And let's look it up in gematria because I don't know why you have a number 5 there. I'm guessing that the number 5 represents you are only half of the equation. So a hand has 5 fingers, right? But your other hand has 5 fingers. So here you are showing a fist and a hand, and you're on one goose, right? But there's somebody else on a goose that represents another hand, meaning you're double. You are only half the equation. So there's another higher self up there floating in the sky, and then there you are. It's some kind of communication to you. Where's gematria? There you are. S-A. I don't know if gematria allows you to do letters and numbers. I'll try. SA5IA. They're gonna come with what the hell? Okay, here we go. Oh, no way! It is connected to the number 101. So you can see the flute 101. Right here, there's a hole right there, 101. This is 0 point energy, 101. It represents 0 point energy. Being invisible. You're invisible. Okay, 101. I am God. Pan. Ahaha, the pan flute. Pan flute. Ahaha. And then what else? Animal. Chair. Chariot. Beacon of light. Yeah. It basically matches. So take a picture. You are in a chariot. You are moving to... Okay, here's where you are. You left the Muggle world. Hagrid came to get you. He's taking you on the train. You're a little bit confused. You don't know how to go through 9 3/4. You try to ask someone, they're like, are you silly? That doesn't make any sense. And you're a little confused. But then here comes a redheaded woman, Weasley's mother, Ron Weasley's mother. And you say, excuse me, but where is 9 3/4? Oh, it's invisible. And so this is your invisibility energy that's going on here. And you haven't moved to Hogwarts yet. You haven't actually entered in yet. But you have the Ankh. And the Ankh represents female and male, a divine marriage. And it's really, really happy. Very good. Very good. Take a picture. It's basically your Merkaba vehicle. And I don't know about the vehicle of the swan or the vehicle of the mother goose. Let's look it up. Vehicle. Spirit. Have to say spirit or they're going to bring out all kinds of weird stuff. Spiritual goose chariot. All right, so Aphrodite had a chariot that was drawn through the sky by a team of geese. So Aphrodite, so you can see the chariot of geese. So it's the white wings, the white mother goose energy. So it's they call them white doves or white goose chariot. So, or swans. So I definitely see goose, holy dove, and swan energy in your piece. So it's like, she was riding in her dainty chariot, winged by her swans. And it also says goose, across the middle air, making for Cyprus. When she heard afar Adonis's dying groans, and thither turned her snowy birds. Aphrodite, carried by her doves across the sky, reached the Lauranian coast. She raised the starry limbs and passed the proud threshold of her chamber, called the reign of Omiclalan doves. It's called the jeweled car, the mother rejoicing through the clouds. All right, so it's an initiation into a divine marriage. There are 4 white doves that emerged in a large herd that are called the mistress's chamber. Yeah, it's a song that's called the tuneful song, the breath of life, which is the flute in your piece. The mighty Venus had no fear to encounter with the eagles and the plundering hawks. It's a very peaceful energy here. And there was a battle between the sea gods. See, flying things and non-flying things don't get along. The chariot, Venus, Oceanus. There's a battle between the lower world and the upper worlds. Anyway, you could look into this. This is definitely where you are. Now, don't look at it literal. This is an allegory of where you are spiritually. So you see the goose that she's riding right here? There's the goose on the feather, and then there she is. And this goose... Oh, and look at the number 9 right there. That it's showing the swirl right here. You see that swirl right there? That's right there on you. That swirl and that swirl is right there on you. Yeah, you are very much connected to Aphrodite, but you're basically this other goddess, Saya. And Saya is the mother of the white doves and everything, but you're also connected to Aphrodite and the riding the chariot, which is the goose. Oh, thank you, Joe. Yeah, right now I turned my readings off because I'm focusing on paying attention to my subscribers and people who have donated monies toward this, so I don't forget about you guys. And I'm probably going to do this for about 2 weeks. I always give a free reading, and I'll turn my paid readings back on in about 2 weeks. And so what I do is I start out by reading for someone, and then after that reading, I give free readings. But for right now, we're focusing on free readings in order to, let you guys know how much I appreciate you and to kind of awaken to collective questions that we might have at this time. We've entered into the Lion's Gate, and there's a lot of shifts and changes going on, a lot of information that we are starting to see as we enter into this golden age of Aquarius. These truths are real, all right? And this is really happening. We're really shifting into a wonderful new place. Keep your joy up, okay? Keep your joy up at this time. So, Pippi Longstocking, your new name is Saya, but the secret behind your name, Saya, is you always put the number 5 in there. That way, when you telepathically put that name out there, no one can hijack it or even use it, because a lot of people might have the name Saya, but not you. You are SA5IA, which is a really secret about a 5-pointed star, and many things about the 5th element, which is not air, water, fire, or earth. It is ether, and that you are now tethered to ethereal laws, which is the 5th element. There's a lot of secrets in the number 5, and this number 5 will speak to you while you are in your celestial school and you've entered into the body of the new God. So congratulations. It's a very, very happy reading. You have a tulip tattoo for the breath and rebirth. Oh, that's so perfect. Then you know that it's spirit talking to you, darling. Breath and rebirth is very connected to that pan flute. See, if you were in the water or the earth energy, you would have been earthbound by physical laws. You are flying and you are in the wind. You are absolutely in the air. All right, so you're in the air energy, the breath of life, all that. It's you. What? Can you sing a happy song? Let's make the ballerina spin. She's like, yay, Pippi, your name is sci-fi. 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 Yeah. Sci-fi. Science fiction. Ha. Maybe they do a play on words. I don't know. Oh, you live in the path 5 of numerology. Well, the spirits know, baby. I don't. I didn't hear it in my head. I even asked Spirit today, I was like, you gonna let me hear your voice instead of me just seeing it in symbology? Like, it'd be a lot easier if I just heard it. Like, Teresa Caputo. She walks up, hey, your mom said this to you. Oh, your grandfather said this to you. Okay, bye. I want to be able to do that. I see it. And I'm not hearing it. And I am asking Spirit to let me hear more. That way I could just tell you. And then we can show you also. Oh, thank you so much, Cindy. Yeah, I know. Like, let's have direct communication. Well, a lot of people do. There's a lot of psychic mediums and people who have direct communication, and I admire them. But some people are more pictorial. Like, they have to see it. And I think that's why I'm here. You're going to see it like magic. Because if I could see it in my head and say, oh, this is what the gods told you. But would you really believe it coming out of my mouth? But what if you saw it in front of your face? Just wake up. You just so happened to see that Spirit was talking to you with your own eyes. I think Spirit wants you guys to see the picture in front of your face. There's a lot of people who you hear a lot of things come out of people's mouths, but you don't see it like this. And this is what makes it a little bit special. It is a little bit long-winded, but be patient, Mr. and Mrs. Be patient. Lady in the Water myth about men forgetting how to hear. Yeah, I'm a male energy because I have a physical body and I'm totally deaf when it comes to hearing anything. Now, I'll see stuff on the spirit realm. I can see through people's eyes. I witness things. I witness future things occurring. I know things are going to happen before they happen. I speak to spirits who are passed away. I can see them. They send me symbols. Now, on the dream realm, I can hear them talking to me telepathically. But it's rare if I hear anything. And maybe I need to put myself under a self-hypnosis. And that's why I went all the way to Kentucky, Hopkinsville, Kentucky. And I went to Edgar Cayce's grave and museum and said, hello, I am an oracle and I would like to connect with you. So I went to his grave. I read for Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce said a bunch of stuff about false gods from the other side. And I made a video of it if you guys haven't seen it. But Edgar Cayce's energy was just like, the only way out of the false gods is to become an oracle. You have to hear the voice of a higher realm. Otherwise, you can't get out of the lower realm. You have to hear the voice of the invisible so that you can do the will of God, which is an invisible voice, like an oracle. So you have to become an oracle, he says in the reading. But then while I was at the graveyard, this bird kept tapping on our door. And my husband was like, what is the matter with that bird? The bird kept flying into my door and then landing on a grave from the 1800s. And her name was Emerald Lake Blaine from 1875. And I was like, whatever, I don't want to read for anybody from 1875. Let's just go. But the bird wouldn't stop. So I read for her. She said, help me. I'm in hell. And I was like, what? That's what it came out in the reading. And so I had a talk with her and tried to send her to the light. And I left her a little mirror and a little present and said, I said some things to her that just popped into my head, just whatever my higher self said. And hopefully through the power of observation, I was able to move her, but she was literally stuck somewhere and I can't believe that spirits are stuck. Like, I don't believe it. Personally, I was like, all right, forget it. I'm done with these readings. I am lying. I am crazy. It's just all in my own head. I don't want to see somebody from 1875 stuck in hell. Are you serious? Right? And so it bothered me. And I was like, you know what? Forget about this. Forget about readings. I'm obviously a fool. And I think that spirits get stuck. So the bird was trying to talk to me, and hopefully I helped. I don't know, but that is what is what. And I don't know if it's true or not. I just know that I didn't like it. I definitely didn't like it. Edgar Cayce says, you are under the power of the gods of suffering until you hear God. And either you see God or you get a divine order of God and you obey that voice, then that's you going through the eye of the needle. Because if you're polarized by your own will, your own ego, your own ignorance, you're gonna suffer. So I don't know whether I believe what I saw, but it bothered me nonetheless. Yeah, you should see the video. I actually videotaped me walking on to Edgar Cayce's grave. In front of it anyway. And I felt foolish. I had a feeling of feeling like a fool. And all the trees were blowing like crazy. And there was a lot of energy there. And I was like, wee! It was like all scary. And I was like, I feel kind of creepy. I feel like a creep, And then the bird was like tapping on me and the wind was blowing and it was getting a little bit cloudy outside. And I'd just gone to Edgar Cayce's museum and all these old buildings, went to his old house, went to his old photography studio, did all this stuff, and then went to his grave, and it was so creepy. And then I was like, well, let's just go. But then this bird literally tapped on my door and then hit my door with its wing and then kept flying on that grave. And I was like, oh my gosh, please. I don't know what I should do. Yeah. It's another dimension. Well, she died at a very young age. So in my limited opinion, my silly human brain, I see all humans as children. If we don't have the knowledge or the information in an encyclopedia in front of us that gives us the knowledge to become an oracle, to have 0-point centering, to have the scientific mind, to understand how to use our actions, thoughts, and words. If we don't have a proper teacher and we didn't have the time to awaken, I don't know how the gods judge us, because for me, I don't care if you're 80 years old, you're a child. You are a child comparative to God or the immortals. You're a baby. Judgment, that's silly. It's really about didn't know any better. Forgive them, they know not what they do. We don't know what we're doing until we go through an awakening, and then you come to an age of accountability. But this girl was young, and she was wearing like a cowboy hat, and there was this man, and I think she allowed her energy to get connected to this jerk man. And when your biofield connects to a reptilian or a jerk, then suddenly you get sucked into their energy where you suffer consequences of someone else, not yourself, and you don't know that. As a young girl, you don't know. You have some guy who's actually a reptilian walk up to you. I love you forever. I'll marry you. Let's get married. Yeah, and then you mate with them and your biofield gets stuck with them and you don't realize they're narcissistic and they abuse you and then they abuse your children, and then you're just like, oh my gosh, how do I get out of this? And there's no one that's going to help you. That was the vibe I got. And it's just like, Does that person deserve to suffer? No. If I were the God, I would be like, hey, yeah, you made it with a reptilian. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, you should have known better. Yeah, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to bring you to a school of understanding. No, don't go back to the mortal world. They won't teach you anything. They'll teach you how to work. That's all. You're a slave. But come to my school, and I'm going to teach you how to master your mind, master your biofield, master your body. No, you shouldn't mate with certain people. You have to meet them on the spirit realm first. There's a lot of wolves out there. There's a lot of archons out there. Their purpose is to tether your biofield to theirs so that they don't suffer and you do. Yeah, it's a technology we don't understand because it's invisible. Yeah, humans don't see the invisible. I'm so sorry. But now you have a teacher now, right? And I'm sorry, but that's the way I look at it. I don't think that we as children deserve hell or fire or anything like that. I think we know not what we do, and we need to know what we're doing, and how it's going on, how the technology of our biofield and the bitten apple works, right? There are things out there that bites your apple, and you don't know it. That's what the thief and the liar is. You have to be in the center cross, the eye of the needle, neither low self-worth or self-importance. This is knowing for sure you are only the observer. You are only a mirror of the one infinite source God. You are not anger. You are not promiscuous. You are not a drug addict. You are not anything but the will of God manifested through your flesh. That's it. And if you don't know that, then that's where we know not what we're doing. Oh, you are off restriction. What were you on restriction for? Were you being a jerk, Joe? Don't be a jerk. I'm just joking. I'm just joking, Joe. Jojo joking. All right, so if you want me to read for you, just give me your first name. It is Happy Freya Day. Ha ha ha. Yeah, my people perish from a lack of knowledge. Yes, absolutely. It's a lack of knowledge. And this young girl didn't have knowledge. Poor thing. And that's why many of us, like Pippi Longstocking and Joe and many, doesn't have the divine feminine mother who is intuitive, who knows the baby's going to cry before they cry, knows the baby's hungry before they're hungry. No more begging, no more suffering. This intuitive mother is here. The knowledge is here. All right. This comes from the invisible Holy Spirit. It's happening. No more thieves, no more liars, no more lack of knowledge. And so let's not be in lack. But if I were to open a school, you don't have to come to school. You don't even have to sit down. But you will know that power is life. Power is knowledge. Knowledge is life. Ignorance is death. And so it's your choice whether you come to class. And it's your choice whether you hear your higher self asking you to come to class. All of these readings that I give people are a class for you. They are not readings. It is a school. We are learning about gods and goddesses and animals, like the holy dove is an animal, about colors and sound. We're learning about your higher self, your lower self, how your biofield technology works, sacred geometry, thought forms of God, how to balance your humanity with your spirituality, all that. That's always, every single day that I'm here, you're learning this. All right, let's see here. So, let me follow spiritual Marakai. And your name is Jamie. What would you like to know, Jamie? You're being given a hug from the spirit realm. They want you to wear the color blue. You have pretty hair. I think what they want to call you Smiley for some reason. All right, Jamie, let's pick a song for you. Thank you, Spirit, for showing us the energy of Jamie. Thank you for your all-knowing hand and the truth that flows through you and through me.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell, we know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep, and have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailor? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Why are there so many
Songs about rainbows and what's
on
on the other side. Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide.
So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers.
So here's what happens, Jamie. We're going to Wizard of Oz, Missy. When Dorothy went to Emerald City, scrub here, scrub there, she was cleansed of what you would call sin. Sin is just ignorance, narcissism, and shame. The lion was shame and blame. The scarecrow is ignorance, and the Tin Man is narcissism. And she cleansed herself. She did all this stuff. The great and mighty wizard was using artificial intelligence to scare everyone, and he was a liar. And he was full of hot air balloon. And so Dorothy was stuck in a world of lies. The Wicked Witch of the West, all of it was a lie. And the people in her life were also a lie. And there came a precipice where the darkness was really overcoming her, and especially the people outside of her. So the monkeys came and tore the scarecrow apart. And you're sitting on a fire here. There's wood and there's fire. And he says, I have a piece of myself over here. I have a piece of myself over there. Oh, that's you everywhere, Scarecrow, right? So pieces of yourself are in different timelines if we don't recapitulate it. When you become a student or a master of personal power, you recapitulate every day. Your biofield can get torn to shreds during daily living. This is the scarecrow being torn to shreds by monkeys. A monkey is someone who works for the Wicked Witch of the West, which is the World Wide Web. And the purpose of darkness is to push you into Emerald City so that you can step into your power by a threat. But when Dorothy finally went through the divine marriage, which is the number 8, water and fire, the broomstick was on fire, and it was the scarecrow who put the fire out with water. This is a divine marriage of you are 75% water and you are being set on fire. This fire and water make steam, and this is a divine marriage that makes water and fire, which is the number 8, come together. When this steam occurs, it can feel really painful, but it kills the Wicked Witch. This means that something in your biofield, like a jerk energy in your biofield, maybe it's in your DNA, gets killed forever. If it's artificial intelligence, if it's whatever it is, this divine marriage of fire and water kills it, and it kills it for good. So then you get this broomstick, you go to the wizard, he's like, step forward. Dorothy, how dare you come here asking for my help when you didn't even kill the witch? And she's like, oh, excuse me, but I did kill the witch. Oh, never mind that man behind the curtain, right? Lie. In Emerald City, using artificial intelligence to trick everyone. So what this is saying to you is that you are living in an artificial intelligent, holographic, highly advanced, sophisticated reality that is there to teach you and push you ruthlessly into this divine marriage. You are entering into eternal spring. This is called the Triketra. It's you have 2 rings of power here, which is water and fire, baptism of water, baptism of fire. When you're going through the fire, you're going to have chaos. Piece of myself over here, a piece of myself over there, and then they try to set you on fire, and you're being set on fire here. Well, the Mad Hatter, you having that Mad Hatter over your head, is a snake. We are entering into the realm of the snake. 2025 is the green snake. So this is Kundalini, and for some of us, Kundalini is a battle, and this is a battle. But remember, once you defeat the Wicked Witch for good, once you get the Triketra, which is 3 rings of power here, and then you have 4 eyes with the daffodil, the monkeys and the soldiers were no longer against Dorothy. They actually bowed down to her. So it's something that is being killed within you, that needs to be completely gone through water and fire. Then once it's gone, it'll be done forever. And the monkeys will never attack you. They will be for you. If God is for you, who can be against you? There's flying monkeys even. So They say that those of us who are initiates of higher truths and starting to step into a divine order of God, which is dog, and we're starting to follow that, we are being attacked. The Wicked Witch of the West, the Matrix, attacks us like a Mr. Smith from Neo. And so, yeah, you are being attacked. But you have somebody says K33. So this means the letter K is the 11th letter in the alphabet. And so you are in the deathless death. You have to surrender, Dorothy. Go through the deathless death. And what does it feel like to be dead? You think nothing. Good. Think nothing. Feel nothing. Don't feel anything. Allow yourself to just surrender all that you are, all of your beliefs and everything, and allow this to occur. And then the letter K will give you another 11 next to that 33, which is 44. And 4 and 4 is 8. All right? I don't know why they talk like this. That's just how they talk. K33 is actually 44. So it says, ask us. So they put AS and they put the K inside the 8 and then us. Ask us for help. We're here. You are the bringer of eternal spring, the egg, the Easter egg, and your future is beautiful and wonderful. This Kundalini is cosmic electricity. It does at first cause chaos, but it says ask us. So for those of you who don't know about your biofield is a technology that mirrors the biggest thing in your outer reality, which is the moon, the earth, and the sun. But like Mithra, who cut the bull and the bull turned into the moon, there was a piece of you that was cut from you and you became like a bitten apple. Your apple is called Noah's Ark. You enter into the ark 2 by 2. You have 2 rings of power. But these 2 rings of power only perpetuate a reality in a matrix system. And so you are creating this reality with these 2 rings of power. If you want to know what shamans have to say about those 2 rings of power, you can look up The Journey to Ixtlan by Carlos Castaneda. And Don Juan says that we are literally creating this reality with our rings of power, but a shaman gets a 3rd ring of power, and with that ring you can actually create new worlds and new realities, which is called eternal spring or Easter. So when you only have 2 rings of power, you are a bitten apple, and this means that you were spiritually miscarried because of ignorance. And so we have to find knowledge, and knowledge comes from the sun. The sun must descend upon our biofield in order for us to live forever. Your biofield is almost like 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 L's, electrons. And the sun is always connected to L because the number of the sun is 1. The sun flips its magnetic polarity every 11 years, and the magical square of the sun is 111. So it's always connected to 111 or 111, which makes 6. All right, so this is the number 6, 666. All right. Well, electrons live forever. Protons and neutrons don't. So you want to live forever, but you have to have knowledge. And the knowledge doesn't come from the mind. It comes from the heart. Your heart is 5,000 times stronger than the mind. You unplug the mind, your beliefs, your programming, everything from the matrix, and you plug your heart into the sun. It's like a line that goes up to a piece of yourself that was cut, right? So the how it works is, at first, your biofield is under the power of the magnetism of the sun. So the sun flips its magnetic polarity every 11 years. So the first time you awaken, you are in the teardrop. This is called the eye. It's the Vesica Piscis. You are in the flood, in Noah's Ark, 2 by 2. Then the sun flips to 22 and you flip. And you begin to awaken naturally. And your boat begins to float on top of water, meaning you are out of the waters of chaos. And this is usually a battle. And we can often see this battle outside of ourselves as a death or fire or burning or a building on fire. So many of us didn't realize that in 2001, the 2 towers was on fire, and they sat in front of a body of water here. So it was fire and water. And your biofield is very much like this. In 2001, the sun was flipping its magnetic polarity at the 22 mark for many of us. So this is why it's 1111 is 22. And 9/11 equals 11. And it was in New York City called the Big Apple, right? And then the 4th of July is celebrated on 11/7/4, which is 11. So you have 11, 11, 11, 11. And it's all about 11/11/22. Well, your biofield is W at the bottom. This is water, but it's also the World Wide Web. It's the Wicked Witch of the West. It's the Matrix. But you're trying to get to the fire, which is the letter M. And the letter M is Emerald City or Anti-M. Anti-M and Emerald City, this is the letter W, this is the letter M. Once you get to Emerald City, you are no longer in the water, which is time. 12 hours, 12 months, 12 zodiac signs, or the 2 fish. You are in 13 that dominates time. You are in ethereal laws. You become a master that walks on water, MW, right? And you just put this upside down, it's L. That's L. It's the sun. So once you get to the 22 mark, you're battling. It's a death. It's a fire. The 2 towers are falling. Whoa! Stuff's happening outside of yourself. It's chaos, right? Many people are in the belly of the whale at this precipice. You're fighting flesh and spirit. It's a difficult time, but then once this goes to where you are now, 33, 22, 33, you're in the fire. So this water changes, this vesica piscis changes to fire. So this is the fire. This is the deathless death. This is when you surrender everything that you've ever been taught and decide that you want to hear the voice of a higher self, and you're going to follow it because you're going to follow the divine order of God. And your dog Toto, which is your mind, isn't going to go into the garden of the reptilian wicked witch. You're going to pull back the curtain of all the false gods, and you're going to stop believing in the Matrix, where the Wizard of Oz was literally using artificial intelligence to make everyone afraid. That is what Emerald City also means. The emerald words within a computer screen. But then here's where you're going. So you have the letter K, which means the 11th letter. You're going through another flipping, and this is 44. 44 is the number 8 for 40 days and 40 nights. When you get to that number 8, suddenly L drops down on your biofield that looks like an apple. And suddenly the apple changes into a rabbit. So the rabbit represents a triquetra. It means that your number 8 gets another eye, another ring of power. And this means that immortality, electrons, descends upon you. And the water and fire and the steam makes God work for you instead of against you. So the soldiers and the monkeys will no longer be your enemy. This world will not be your enemy, because you learn to seek first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all the things that you wanted will be added unto you because you figured it out. Now your dog doesn't go to the reptilian world. Now your dog pulls back curtains of truth within your biofield. So if you're the one Neo who needs your Trinity, you follow that white rabbit right here. This is about 3 rings of power, which is the sun energy connecting to your heart chakra. Right? It's very numerical. It's very, very scientific. It's not what you're told in the Bible. It's literally the white hair of Noah is a white rabbit. It's the hair of Noah that comes out of the ark. And it's ark spelled backwards. It's Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna is the white hair that comes out of the ark. And this is you achieving not dog, but God. You are not in the inversion of God. You're not in the dog. You are in the world of God, which is, we were in the upside down world. We were here. This is the dog. But here is God, which is L, 13 spelled backwards. So electrons live forever. That's what you need, is that. And that's exactly what's happening to you. But the reason you're wearing a Mad Hatter hat is we suffer because of ignorance. And so surrendering makes you, what it does when you surrender, Dorothy, is your mental inventory gets erased of all that you believed, so that new information can be activated within you that tells you the truth of your ascension and your completion, so that you can go to the 11th house, which is Aquarius, which is connected to L, which is electrons. 5054, Let's look you up here. And the curse of Cain was for 7 generations, which is the dog. It's the canine. So if you are in the rainbow connection, the 7 colors of the rainbow, it's because we were in the dog. The dog is the curse of Cain. The curse of Cain is being in the inverted reality, being in the underworld, the water world. And that's when you know you're in the curse of Cain, is because you know you're on 7 continents, 7 seas, 7 days in a week, 7 colors to the rainbow, 7 chakras. Jesus had 7 wombs. There are 7 spirits of God, 7 musical notes, 7 metals, and there are 7 trumpets, 7 seals, 7 deadly sins, 7 wonders of the world. You forgive 70 times 7, 7 locks of Samson's hair, 7 lions in the den with Daniel. And this is a curse. But the way out of the curse is the number 8. And so this is the 8th flame that's billowing under your bottom at your base chakra, ready to go up to the top of your body. Notice this snake is going around your body to your head chakra, and it's a cosmic electricity that's setting you on fire, but it's setting you on fire with knowledge and power. It's like good, very good. But there are some attacks I see. I don't know if this is the past. I'm not sure. But you are being given a kiss. There's somebody behind all things here giving you a kiss. And this is called the kiss of God. And the kiss of God is the kiss of love, that you are loved. And even though we have been in a world of not understanding things, you are still eternally loved by those behind the scenes. And you are being given a kiss. But we will look up these numbers for you, which is 5054. One of the explanations for 5054 is, now I know why everything sucks. You were in the upside down world. You were in the dog. Yeah, these monkeys, they're jerks. Woo. All right, let's see here. January 4th. Yeah, January 4th is 1-4. That's 14. There's 14 pieces of Osiris's body. That's a very, very powerful number there. So it says, WTF, part of 7 years celibacy. The end of nymph's life is not understood. When we mate with people, we suffer their consequences. So let's say you mated with someone a long time ago, and your soul is tethered to them still. And so they go out and they murder somebody or they do something. You're going to suffer their consequences, right? Because you have a man down here, right here. And you have to do recapitulation and certain specific things as a woman to get yourself untethered from someone else's actions that aren't your actions, but you will suffer them because, listen, on the spirit realm, mating with someone is a serious business, okay? It's a serious business. So here we go. The third ayers believe the soul is the spirit because their souls have descended into the animal realm. I know the pride of satanic witches, and it shall lead them to the bottom of the universe. Yes. Anyone who performs black magic, they're not doing the will of God. If you don't do the will of God, you get put into the curse of Cain for 7 generations in order to heal the 7 chakras that were not obeying God. Yes. There are black witches and white witches. You don't have to call them witches. You can call them wizards. You can call them magi's or masters. The 3 wise men, they were called magi's. something about Jesus and the mustard seed. The Seventh-day Adventist, there's a lot of number 7s here. The real bride of Christ would never call herself that. She is way too humble. A truth hurting people does not earn you glory. Healing and helping them does. Being kind does. Being loving and patient does. Save your attention for people who are worthy of it. Why it is taking so long is because you have to see it for yourself. Soon the world, say, I love you. Everyone should hear they are loved. 3 worth 1 is salt. 3 worth 1 is light. The golden light. May all darkness return to the light from which it came. There's a lot about the light. There's a lot about the number 7 in your piece. Basically, your piece is saying, ask us for help. We will help you. Anytime you feel like you are in a chaotic situation, ask us. They're flying above you. They're there. They're giving you the holy kiss. And the daffodil, that daffodil is like called a buttercup. And it has a meaning. Let me see what the meaning is. That's a daffodil. Daffodil. I call it laffodil. It's a happy yellow color. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. Ah ha ha. Daffodils are one of the happiest flowers around. So this is about happiness. This is about joy is your strength. It helps you grow. Symbolism of the daffodil is lengthy, but basically what I get from it is joy is your strength. Expecto patronum. Let your inner child come out and play. So it's a birth flower of March. It is a sense of the northern hemisphere. It is the month of spring. It is about it's about eternal spring. The 11th house, the 2 ears of the rabbit, 11. It is about the 11th house of Aquarius, eternal spring. You, bringer of this coming forward into your life, ask for help. You will receive help. If you have a piece of yourself that is a scarecrow, in a timeline that is affecting your energy from where you are seated on fire and you're not standing up, then recapitulation. And if you haven't read this, then I would say read it all. The Sorcerer's Crossing. Recapitulation. Breathing works on both the physical and ethereal levels, and it will repair your ethereal net and bring filaments of your energy that are lost all over the place, just like the scarecrow. Bring it back into your heart. Bring your electromagnetism and let that cosmic electricity of that snake that's in the year 2025 really activate your knowledge. It's all about knowledge now, and you're going to be learning some stuff. Don't judge what you're going to learn. These are truths for you, and it's about your mastery. It looks like they want you to learn to ask for help more and to get into numerology. And it looks like to me that your name is Asus, A-S-U-S, and this is A-S-U-S is almost like Isis. but not like the two eyes of Isis. So take a picture. It's a fantastic, fantastic read. Actually, all of these readings so far, it's like our higher self goes, oh, guess what? You didn't know before that you could take evil and turn it into good. Now you can ask for help. You didn't before. Now you just say, hey, Glinda, where are you? Because, you come down there in that pink bubble only when you want to. Like if I ask you to help, are you going to come and help? Or are you just going to come when you want to? So just ask for help. You're welcome. You're a student, my darling. You're becoming an oracle. You have a piece on your throat that's completely losing power right here. And you're losing power out of your throat from scarecrow energy. And what is the scarecrow? Ignorance. Which way do I go, scarecrow? I don't know. Was it that way or this way? I don't know. Why don't you know, scarecrow? I guess because there's a wicked witch that keeps telling me stuff that isn't true. And I keep repeating it and it's not even true. And it keeps me tethered to a cross. What are you doing on the cross? Taking on the sins of the world? Why are you taking it upon yourself? That's not your problem. I know, but I'm stuck here. Well, how do you get off? I guess I have to hear God, not the wicked witch. Oh, so stop talking about stuff that comes from the wicked witch world. Talk about stuff that comes from the place of God. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, seek first the kingdom of God. Then you'll repair that throat area. I don't know. I'm sure I had this at one time. Oh my gosh, when I was first doing readings, man, I was in ignorant land. Some of y'all's pieces that I did back in 2020, the readings that I did, they were good. But they were ignorant. They didn't, it just wasn't, let's see, I'm going to show you 2020. Let's find out where the book is. Where is it? Where's my book? I know where it is. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You have it. It's right here. You just have to look a little harder for it. Maybe it's under here. Back here. Maximos. Well, anyway. Some of your pieces were incredibly descriptive as to where you were. Some of you guys were underwater in 2020. You had not made it above water. Then, 2021, we all started getting into a boat. Then, the boat started shifting and changing. Some of you guys were falling out of the boat and into the water. All this stuff was about your biofield. I didn't know what the boat meant back in 2020. I had no idea. But this is what happens when we're strengthening our spiritual muscle. You're trying to let the voice of the Holy Spirit speak through you without getting clogged or stuck, right? And I'm sorry, but we're gonna make mistakes. And so what I like to say is, I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong. Make sure that you bounce what I tell you off of what your higher self is telling you. Also, don't be polarized outside of yourself, because we could always be wrong. But as we continue and persist in all efforts and continue to use the voice and continue to study with the invisible word of the Holy Spirit and our higher self, the easier it gets. So that you have a blockage right there, let's get rid of it. What man intends for evil, God intends for good. So we're just going to get rid of it here. And it's an Apple technology that's on your throat there. And that's just, thoughts of your old self, thoughts of the old world, thoughts of life that feels uncomfortable or whatever. And we don't want that anymore. We want you to be healed. We want you to be happy. We don't want you to feel attacked. We don't want you to feel uncomfortable. But you are learning numerology, symbology, very scientific things you're going to be learning in this upgrade that you're going through. And now you've been healed. So let those tingly feelings come into your feet. Pull up some magnetism up through your feet. Let it tingle into your hands, through your hair. Be thankful and just say, I surrender. I am nothing and yet everything. I am no one and yet everyone. I want to be all-knowing, but I want to be humble with it. And I want to speak the voice of my higher self and use my hands for the will of my higher self. Use my feet for the will of my higher self. And I want to defeat this wicked witch forever with the fire and the water. And then go to the great and mighty Wizard of Oz and go, hey, jerk, you're a liar too. Oh, yes, but I'll still give you a heart and a brain and not have you shaming and blaming. There was a purpose for this matrix, false, artificial intelligent reality. There was a purpose. You did have to get a heart, a brain, and courage. Okay? But once you're done with the false god, you fly like a pretty little bluebird over the 7 colors of the rainbow, and you make it to the number 8. And you're like, what? And it's a new world. And it's an eternal spring. And it's a rabbit. And there is such thing as Easter. You just have to open the box at Christmas, which is the 12th month. And maybe you'll get to the number 13. And you're loved. Always. Ah, you have 7 blue jays in your yard, Colleen. That's so cool. You guys are cute. I'm loving these readings. And I get to keep them. If you guys don't want me to send them to you in the mail, if you don't have the money, to donate some money for me to send it to you, I get to keep them. They're incredible. And God knows, maybe they'll be worth something someday. Not a lot of people do this. These are very important messages for you, so make sure to take a screenshot, crop it, and print it out. You can paint it 100 times over. As long as you have this, you can paint it. You can see more things if you want to. Learn to scry. But you've entered into a celestial school, and this celestial school is invisible. It's for the Mad Hatter. And when you're in the Mad Hatter stage, and you don't have the witch's hat yet, you feel like you're going mad. That's okay. We're all going in there. We can throw teacups together. Don't worry. We'll have the bunny rabbit. We'll have the table. The table is turned up. It's a face. You have your little teacup right here. Smash it to pieces. The Mad Hatter Tea Party. Ah ha ha. Yes, I know. All these years, I've gotten better. I've gotten a lot better. I mean, and then what am I going to be like in another year or two? Who knows? Maybe things are going to start popping out of the page like in Harry Potter. They're going to start dancing in front of us. They're going to be like, ha, 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 ha. We're actually alive. And we were just stuck in this page before. Oh, yes. If I, you guys would just have to text me if you want your original. I don't paint the original because I want you to see more. You guys need to scry. You need to see it. You can print it and then paint it if you want to, but you need to see it in its original form. It has lots of messages in there. And I always make a video for you after your reading. If you paid for a reading, I always make a video. If you didn't pay for a reading, then no, I don't make a video. It takes like 3 hours for me sometimes. All right, babies, I need to go. I'm going to go out to dinner with my husband. Oh, you guys want to see my Hobbit house before I go? I'll show you a little bit of it, but I'll probably lose signal. We'll go see Hobbit house. Maximus, you want to go out? Go on. Why did I build the Hobbit house? The Hobbit house has 3 eyes and 3 ponds, and it represents a prayer. And so this prayer is, see, 3 eyes, 3 ponds. It's full of crystals inside. 1, 2, 3 eyes, 3 ponds, and the water goes out here. And you open the door, and the door glows in the dark. It looks like a portal, like you could go through it. It's like totally awesome. And eventually I'm going to have Forest Fairy. My husband's going to bring my Forest Fairy store over here so we can go live, because right now I don't have any signal to go live. And we're going to be talking about making cabinets that are oracle cabinets, where you open the cabinet and it has things that you can put on the shelf and they close. And these cabinets glow in the dark, and you just open them up and they have like lots of beautiful lights, and they have sparkles inside. And making a sacred space for your prayers, for inner and outer illumination, for, you know, your ascension, giving you beautiful wings, giving you a crown above your head. And these are prayers. These are action prayers. So you've got your wings, you've got your crown, you've got your wedding ring for the divine marriage. 1, 2, 3 rings there. You're in the mirror world right here. There it is. Here, this is your illumination, your third eye, all that. And then here is the age of Aquarius, the bringer of the water and the light of the world, and many different symbols that represent an awakening. Let's see if I can open this with one hand. I can't. I gotta open it with 2 hands. So you have to put one finger here and then that finger there. You open it, but there, you open it and there's a beautiful angel inside. She has lights in there, and you put gifts in on top. You close it and it just snap close. And it has a crystal handle right here. I'm going to show you guys how I make these. I'll make some for you guys. If you want a reading, you want a looking glass cabinet, and I'll turn your reading into a cabinet. They're more expensive, but they're worth it because they are a piece of art that serve as a prayer, a apothecary cabinet. It serves as a place to put sacred things. It glows in the dark, reminding you to keep your light lit and all that stuff. And so, you know, like I have some over here. This one is from Hogwarts. This is Ascension into the Hogwarts school, and you open her up and you literally see, oh my gosh, what's in there? A rabbit. You got to follow the rabbit. There's a bridge and there's some things, but then look up here. The train is flying up in the sky. What? Yeah, so these cabinets, they have really cool looking handles, and what I want to do is show you how I make them. And we can make your own personal one, you know, and then and we could just, I make everything. So we make soaps, we make lotions, we make perfumes, we make crowns, we make glow-in-the-dark necklaces, we make all kinds of beautiful things. And I haven't been able to do it because I have no signal where it's a tiny house that I turned into my shop. And so what I want to do is when my husband moves it over here, we're going to go live and you can just watch me make all kinds of beautiful things, and we can make them for you and have fun. You can maybe come and visit me one day if you live nearby and get some spring water, because spring water flows into our faucets here. We tap into the aquifer, filtered through limestone. This is living waters, and we are in Emerald City. I live by the Emerald Coast. There are emerald springs, and on an ancient map, this is called the Emerald Mound. These emerald waters activate your spirit and help you to become an oracle. Many people travel from all over the world to come to these waters because they literally do something to your spirit. People get baptized here because if you're ready to baptize yourself in the surrender of your higher self, the Holy Spirit, the Holy Dove descending upon your soul, manifesting within your heart and growing you into your ability to fly to higher realms and to be able to do holy things with your holy temple, come to the waters of rejuvenation, freedom, and life. And we'll make stuff also. Might be fun. Unless you're a jerk. Then we don't want jerks. We'll just have a sign out there saying no jerks allowed. All right. So thank you for being here. Thank you for all the gifts. And we will be back here again tomorrow, and I will be giving free readings for the next 2 weeks. So it'll be fun. Hip, hip, hooray. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Joe, for your help. And thank you for listening to your higher self. Go outside, Missies and Misters, and go outside barefooted and go talk to a tree. Bring some negative ions into your biofield. Put the apple with a bite out of it down, which is your cell phone, because it literally takes your power away. Big kisses, big hugs. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.